Hey, my beautiful followers, how is everyone doing today? How is everyone doing? I am back in my grounding spot, just getting some beautiful sun. It is an amazing spring day here. It's an amazing spring day. Just an ease and flow kind of day. Ease and flow. But this morning I got up and I had a friend, actually one of my best friends, pop in my mind. So I was like, I need to contact that person. We need to go and do dinner or drinks or coffee or something. We need to get together. I miss her. I want to see her. I want to catch up on her life. And so I messaged this friend, this actually very close friend I've known for 11 or 12 years now. We've been buds, and I was in her wedding, and we've had a really great friendship. And so anyway, I messaged her and I was like, hey, let's get together. And suddenly she started sharing with me just this much, like literally this much, about what was going on in her life and how she was feeling the need to go and get some outside help, and how things in her life were really spiraling. And I messaged her and I said, why, dear girl, am I just hearing about this? Why am I just hearing about this? You know, we are besties, so like, why am I just hearing about this? And she was like, I wanted to figure it out myself and get it all figured out before I bothered anybody with it. And I understand, because that is her personality. That is this person's personality. I was like, okay, I get it. But at the same time, because actually that used to be me. I used to not share my feelings, my emotions, what was going on in my world. I kept it all very contained. And then I blew it up. After a while, it actually kept me very sick in my life. It kept me incredibly sick. It's one of the reasons I had an eating disorder for 15 years, is because I kept everything really contained. And now, actually, I probably go almost too much to the opposite side in my world. But anyway, so it just got me thinking, and I was like, okay, yeah, let me help you. I'll support you. I chatted with my friend, and we had our interaction, but it really got me thinking about how so often we wait till we're ravenous. We wait till we're absolutely ravenous to take action in our lives, to reach out for support, to take care of ourselves, to really step in and do the self-care we know we need to do. We wait until we are really hurting, until we verbalize something. We say, I'm fine. No, I don't need anything. No, I don't want anything from you. Our relationship is fine. Blah, blah, blah. We say all this stuff when internally we have all this stuff going on. We don't communicate what's really going on in our world. We don't reach out for the help that we might need. And in doing that, we actually not only harm ourselves, but we can also harm our relationships. And I'll get into that in a second. But we don't stop and go, okay, I'm not fine. And this is because we rush. We are always on the go, and we are never stopping. And so we never stop and go, I need something. I have a need. I have a need for some self-care. I have a need to reach outside of myself and get some help, to get some advice, to just get some loving support. We, as humans, we're not meant to do this alone. We were not meant to do it alone. Can we do it alone? Yes, we can, unfortunately, but we will be missing so many of our lessons and so much of the beauty of life when we cut off that communication. And in truth, it is also about the communication within self. We don't realize how hungry we are until we are starving. And sometimes when we get to that state where we are ravenous, we're in so much pain, we're in so much struggle, our world is so chaotic that it's almost too overwhelming. Where if we just did the self-care work, if we just communicated, if we just talked to the people around us, we might avoid this dropout. We might avoid the dropout. And I know lots of people that I'll say, I communicate, but are you communicating directly? Are you truly asking for your needs in a specific way? Or are you just, I know I have some couples and they'll be like, well, I asked for more connection. I asked for more connection. I said to her, I need more connection in the relationship. I'm like, well, what is that to you? Because what that is to you might not be what that is to him, or vice versa. This could be sex, this could be connection, this could be just a need for time or space. If you're not verbalizing exactly what you need and exactly what you're desiring and what that other person can do, or how they can support you, then you might be communicating it, but you're not giving clarity to it. And then sometimes we need to just get support. And have somebody there and have somebody witnessing. And yes, I do believe we have different type of processing that happens. We have those people who are more internal processors, and we have those people who are more external processors. And so you should know where you lie in that spectrum, and you should also know where your partners, your friends, your family, where they also lie in that spectrum. Because like I said, I have this friend and I know she's an internal processor, and at the same time I'm like, girl, you're not going to do this one by yourself. You're not going to get, like, you need some help, you need some guidance, like. And I'm really proud of her, because she is like, no, like, can you, like, she knows I was used to be a therapist. I know lots of therapists, and was like, hey, could you give me some names of somebody good? And I was like, I will. But in truth, we have to know when we're getting hungry, so that when we don't get to this ravenous point. And in truth, when we don't communicate, when we don't ask for help, we're actually doing more harm to our relationships in general. And when I say relationships, I'm talking your intimate relationships, I'm talking your friends, your family, your children. When you are getting hungry and you wait to the point of being ravenous, you actually do harm to your relationships, because you're not being yourself. You're not being your best self. You're not also giving the gift of allowing somebody else to help you or step in and support you. There's gift in that. There's a lesson in that for that other person. There is learning in helping somebody. There is learning in supporting somebody else, holding space for somebody else. This is a beautiful gift. This is a beautiful gift that we oftentimes take away from the people in our lives, because we want to do it all on our own. We want to be independent men and women. We don't want to need anybody else. We don't want to rely on anybody else. Which, yes, there is growing that muscle too, but guess what? It is just as big of a muscle to realize when you need help and ask for it. That's a muscle too. That is a muscle to grow, because that is, guess what? That's looking at your ego and going, I actually have to face that, like, I could use some help right now. I have to face that. I have to look at that. I have to look at my ego. I have to look at this shadow piece. I have to let somebody love me, let somebody help me, let somebody be there for me. And that is a loving thing. And so whether it be your relationships, letting somebody else help you, letting somebody else fill you, or you just realizing when you are getting so low that you need to feed yourself. It doesn't matter. You have to stop. You don't have to. It's your life. You get to choose what you want to do. But I strongly encourage you to realize when you're getting to that point of hungry, and not let it get to the point of ravenous. Stop that shit. When things start to get into that hungry place where you're like, oh, you're noticing the pattern, you're noticing the emptiness, you're noticing the negative thoughts, you're noticing this pattern start to develop, that you start to cut it off right there. And I know sometimes, like, we get into these patterns and we don't realize until we are in this deeply ravenous place. But if you can catch your patterns, if you can see where you are hungry, then you can stop yourself from getting to this low point of ravenousness. Because when we get into that place, that's when our world starts falling apart. Yes, some beauty can actually come from that, because that is a rebuilding point. But I don't believe that we have to get to rock bottom in order to change our lives or fill ourselves or do what we need to do to manifest what we truly desire. I don't think we have to get to that rock bottom. You get to choose your rock bottom. You get to choose where you're like, this is too much. I need to reach out. I need to change my habits, my dynamics. I need to take a fucking break, and I just need to focus on me. I have to suck my own ego up. I have to go get help. It is about taking the time to realize where you're at and getting real with where you're at and what you truly do need. What you truly do need. I hear so often from people who are like, I don't want to be a burden. I'm like, that's your ego. That's your ego. That is your ego. It is totally your ego, and you are, a lot of times, there are people who get into this needy state, but as a general rule, if somebody loves you and you're not constantly hitting on them for like, help me, help me, help me, help me, then if they view you as a burden by going, hey, I'm going through a tough time, and I could use some coffee, I could use just some support and somebody to listen. I could use, I could use some time, some space, whatever. Then if you are a burden in that relationship, if somebody sees you as a burden, then you need to recheck that relationship. You need to recheck the actual true love in that relationship. If somebody is viewing you as a burden, then that is negativity in the relationship. That is an issue in the relationship. Because if somebody loves you, they don't see you as a burden. So my challenge and my suggestion really for all of you, because today I was like, why did you let yourself get to this point, girl? I had a moment of sadness come through me, because I could feel, even just through texting, I could feel her pain, feel her deep pain, and she was telling me her pretty much new marriage is falling up, all this stuff is really breaking apart, and I could feel it, and I felt me and who I am, I want to go and fix it, and I can't, but I was like, why did you wait? Why did you wait? So don't wait. Take the time, get quiet within self, and really every single day recognize where you're at. And if more days than not you're noticing yourself as sad or depressed or having these horrible thoughts or frustrated or just feeling empty, then that's a pattern, and that's something that we can fix, we can step into, we can change, we can make the change. But you have to take the time to realize you're getting ravenous. You have to realize and take the time to connect with yourself, to realize what you need to do in truth, because sometimes we just need to be with ourselves. We need to take time for ourselves. Sometimes it is that, yes, we do need to connect with somebody else. The process could go much faster if we just allowed somebody else in to help. So take that time every day. I don't care if you wake up or it's right before you go to bed, when you're brushing your teeth. It doesn't matter. Take 5 minutes and just breathe into yourself and go, where am I? And how am I doing today? Am I doing good? And try not to lie to yourself, because we can often lie to ourselves in these spaces. We can often lie to ourselves. And then go and do what you need to do to keep yourself from getting to this low point, from this really dark low point. So, because it's much harder to pull yourself out of the pit of darkness than it is when things are just, when the sun's starting to go down just a little bit. It's much easier to save yourself there and to rise up instead of having to work through all this gunk down here once you've allowed yourself to drop into that space. So, all right, guys, I love you all, and I do hope that you take this seriously and go and look at self and what you're needing and where you need to grow and expand and where you just need some love, So on a completely side note, because this has nothing to do with my topic, I have oral intimacies and my tantric integration puja coming up in the next few weeks. March 28th, we are doing oral intimacies with Kendall Williams in the DFW area. It is our annual workshop. We will not do this again until next year. It is about oral sex. It is playful. It is for men, women, couples, singles. It doesn't matter. If you want to learn about oral sex, if you want to get playful, if you want to just have a good date afternoon, or just really truly learn how to step up your game, whether you're a beginner and you're like, my skills aren't great, or whether you're like, no, I'm a master, it's still a great workshop. It's still a great workshop. I promise you, you will learn something. You will learn something. And so you can join me at the Velvet Curtain on March 28th, but you must pre-register. This workshop will sell out. So go on my website, addisonbell.net, under the events calendar, and you can find the link for that. And then I have my tantric integration pujas, which you can find out all about on my site as well. These are about diving deep into those pieces of yourself, realizing where you're ravenous, and integrating this beautiful new energy, getting into a playful state, but also learning and really doing your work, but in a very lighthearted, fun, really truly dynamic and memorable way. I've been doing this modality for years and years now. I'm the only tantric practitioner in the United States that right now is doing these modalities and has trained in these modalities. And so please join me. It's an amazing, powerful event. I mean, people, every time I do these events, come to me and go, wow, that really changed, like that changed my life. That right there changed my life. And so please join me if you want to change your life. And that is happening on the 31st of March. Other than that, if you want to work with me one-on-one, coaching via Facebook Messenger, or not Messenger, video, I can't talk today, Facebook video, one-on-one, in person, or on the phone, please reach out. And you can find my application at addisonbell.net. Other than that, go and take some time and connect with yourselves today, guys. Give yourself some love. Love yourself enough to at least tune into where you're at. So, all right, guys, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed.